one. And we are live. Welcome to the Redbird Redzone podcast. My name is Jackie. I'm filling in for Will tonight. Let's get it popping. Let's get it going. You can find me on Twitter at jsandiego, and I'm joined by my lovely co-host. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hey. I'm Jared McCauley, and you can find me on Twitter at AZ Sports Fiend. That's FIEN under the alias of Mac. And we have a special guest here with us this week for the second week in a row. So why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself and kind of give your little your details out to everyone else so they can kind of give you a follow as well.
What's up, everybody? I am Shibby of the Screw City podcast, and you can follow me on Twitter at Shibby at AA, or Shibby AA to be more precise. And I'm a huge Arizona Cardinals fan coming from the Chicagoland area.
All right, so we got to get into it. You're in Chicago. Why, of all teams, did you pick the Cardinals to root for?
Well, the Cardinals were originally the Chicago Cardinals way back when they first were created. And my grandpa had, I think they had just moved to St. Louis as he was a kid. And I think his father kind of passed it on to him. So he was a fan from St. Louis all the way until they moved down to Arizona. And I just kind of, picked the team that he picked. Sadly, unfortunately.
Well, that's awesome. Like, I love that it stayed in the family.
So. Yeah, the pain gets passed down, generational.
I know. I'm like, you could be a Chicago fan, but they've got one Super Bowl. The Cubs won one World Series.
Yeah.
Blackhawks are really good.
My grandpa is like a strict White Sox fan. He hates the Cubs. Like, you can't wear anything in the Cubs. Like, he'll call you out if you wear anything Cubs related to his house. He's like South Side.
Damn! Shout out South Side. So you podcast. So how did you get into doing all that? And tell us what your podcast is all about.
Well, I do a comedy podcast mostly. I do a couple. One's not enough, I guess. So I decided to do 3. But it really started like way back when I really wanted to do like music and just create things, like, be in a band, things like that. And then it kind of just transferred. I'm like, okay, I have this like creative bug, but I'm really not the ship kind of sailed on doing that kind of stuff. And I just kind of found podcasting, and it's been kind of like the perfect home for me to kind of get that creativeness out.
Yeah, if any of you guys are listening and you want like a good, like funny podcast to listen to, definitely check it out. I don't know if you're familiar with the Pat McAfee show when his guys do like their own podcasts on the side.
Yeah,
but that's what your show reminds me of.
Yeah, I'm not like super familiar with it, but I've seen a few episodes of it, and like I do like him. I enjoy his shows and stuff, and I've seen like some of their like spin-off series that they do.
Yeah, so it's good entertainment. Definitely check it out for sure. And then before we go any further, are you guys drinking anything tonight?
Oh, fuck yeah. Dos Equis. What about you, Shibby?
I'm drinking iced coffee, dude. Like cinnamon churro iced coffee. I'm a caffeine addict.
Sophisticated.
There you go. What do you got, Jackie?
I've got me this. It's a local brewery in here in Alexandria, Virginia. It's called Tiddings.
Titties?
Titties?
TIDI.
Give me some of those. Give me some of those. Give me 2 of those.
Put my face in between them. No, so my alcoholic ass. So most of you may have already known I was in the hospital. I had to have emergency gallbladder removal surgery. And right before my surgery, I asked the surgeon, she goes, "You got any questions for me?" I'm like, "Hey, how soon after can I drink from?" And she goes, "You can drink at any time, just don't be mixing it with like the painkillers." I'm like, "Oh,
yeah, don't want to do
well,
that."
Well, not listening to you.
Nice. Well, so I'm sorry if I missed it. I had to mute our chat as I signed into YouTube because I didn't want all the background noise to jump on or whatever. And I'm a boomer and I don't know how to do that, just one at a time. But how long have you been a Cardinal fan? Your whole life, or who got you into the Cardinals?
Yeah, my whole life. My grandpa, he like I said, they were Chicago Cardinals first, so he just kind of was passed down through generations.
Were the Chicago? I was always curious about this. Were the Chicago Cardinals like the Southsiders?
don't even 100% know. I think so. I think it was
I
just
would
kind of
probably think
both. Like it
so.
was the Bears were the Chicago Staleys or something like of the sort, and then the
Yeah.
Chicago Cardinals at the same time. And it kind of just the Cardinals, like not sure exactly why, but they sold themselves down to St. Louis and then down to Arizona eventually, which is really funny because the Cardinals are named after the Illinois state bird, which is the Cardinals, and there's no Cardinals in Arizona.
I think there
They're
are
like
some
very
in
rare.
northern.
Or like there might be,
Yeah.
yeah, there might be
But
some, but like it's weird how they picked that when there's probably
I
like,
didn't know
they
that
could have
they
changed
were
it.
really named after the Northern Illinois Cardinals.
Yeah, the state our state bird is
Oh,
the
oh,
Cardinals.
oh, 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 oh! I thought you meant the University of Northern. I was like,
No, 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 no.
that's random. Okay, nice. So, have you been to any Cardinal games? When was the last
I've
Cardinal game you've been
actually
to?
never been to an NFL game, and it's
Ooh,
really
Not
sad.
even
I
what? Not even a Bears game?
Not even a Bears game. Soldier Field really sucks to get in and out of, and like in my adult life, it just hasn't really been convenient time to do it. And now that I do want to do it, the Bears kind of are ass, and I don't want to go spend all that money to watch them lose anyway. And I'm not really a Bears fan, and I missed the time when the Cardinals played them last year. I was like too busy around the time, so it just I want to go to Arizona and just watch the Cardinals play. Honestly,
hell yeah! So, are you? I missed it, but you are in Illinois or
yeah,
Chicago?
yeah. Shit. I'm originally from Chicago. Now I live in like more northern part. It's called Rockford. It's like a shittier
What
version of Chicago.
what I know they've been kind of talking about building a new stadium for the Bears. How far would that be? I know that were they kind of talking like
Um,
the
it would be like an hour from where I'm at
okay.
still. It's like the
Okay.
suburbs of Chicago. I actually grew up in the town that it's like right neighboring the town that they're trying to move it to because they're moving it to Arlington Heights, and it's where like the horse track was. I've actually been to that horse track.
Oh wow. Nice. That's
So
pretty
you betting on
badass.
horses, not the cards?
Right? Yeah, I was like probably 10, so I wasn't betting on. Actually, my grandparents did give me some money to bet on horses, so I was gambling from a young age, starting off right.
Damn you, rebel. All right. So our season's pretty much a wash. Mathematically, we can be eliminated from playoff contention as soon as next week. And so I don't want to sit here and doom and gloom and dull over what could have been. So we're going to keep it a little fun this time. First off, I wanted to have you guys kind of give me a couple songs. We're going to put together a playlist that sums up this season. So I'll go around, I'll ask Shibby, I'll ask Mac, just give me 2 songs that you guys feel and why you feel like they're relevant to our season.
Can I just say real quick about the whole, being maybe mathematically eliminated
Yeah.
Monday night or whatever. It's gonna happen. We haven't won 2 games all year in a row, dating back to middle of last year when the collapse happened. So not holding out hope for 5 in a row, but I swear it's like every other day right now. For some reason I'm thinking, but while driving or something, I'm just like, what if the Cardinals just ran out 5 in a row? That's not crazy. You know what I mean? Like
It's
we
not
won 7 in a row.
impossible.
It's not, but it's just like the way the season's gone. It's like, come on, just get it over with at this point. And it's unfortunate because we've only seen one game with Hollywood and D Hop,
Yeah,
so it's hard to really, obviously it's a lot of doom and gloom, but there does go like it maybe not 48 hours go by where I'm like, what if we can run off 5 in a row? Because in this conference, 9-8 will probably get you in, but
yeah. I mean, arguably, it's not impossible for even 8 and 9, right? Like, if the Seahawks were to
yeah,
lose 4 in a row, I mean, they're not. I'm not that confident in the Seahawks. That's why the season's been really weird. The NFC is not great. I mean, look at the Bucks. They're probably going to win it negative. They might go 8 and 9 and make the playoffs. That's
right.
the whole
So
division's a wash.
yeah, and it's disappointing. But on that note, I am gonna have to go with the Fugees "Killing Me Softly." It's like one game, 2 game, 2 game, 17 game,
Right.
17 game. Get this shit over with. So, from my childhood, I'll have to go Fuji's "Killing Me Softly" for the #1 spot on our track. What do you guys got?
What you got, Shibby?
Say it ain't so, Weezer.
Nice.
Nice. You got another one?
I didn't pick a specific song, but as a joke, I was just saying like a SoundCloud rappers album, something like that, something real bad,
Ass.
something nasty. Yeah.
What do you got, Jack? You got one up your sleeve?
I actually have like I had started to really think about it. And I actually have like three. So I'm gonna go Highway to Hell, AC/DC.
Oh, you stole it.
Um,
But that's why I wrote down two extra ones. So
yes.
that's one I have written down right in front of me. Highway to Hell's bumping that outside, pre-gaming for the episode. So we great minds think alike, right? Don't forget.
Right. And then I've got from the Irish band Floggy Molly, I've got The Worst Day Since Yesterday.
Okay.
And then what's up?
Oh, no, I said okay, okay. And I don't like the way you said right when I said great minds think alike, because you're probably like, fuck, Mac thought of that too? Like,
Uh,
what the fuck? But anyways, that's neither here nor there.
So Bobby says Johnny Cash hurt, and then
Mm.
Suicidal Thoughts by Biggie.
that's every season about the Cardinals. The last one.
And then
So,
Will actually
yeah.
from the dead, he put, what did Will put? Will goes Crazy Train and Bad Mood Rising by Creedence Clearwater Revival, and then an honorable mention, Thank You Next by Ariana Grande.
There we go.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
So yeah,
So-
go ahead and download our playlist.
I was going to do one
Spotify.
more, but I guess I only got
Oh.
one. It's okay.
What's up?
Okay, I gotta hurry, Jack. I'm gonna go Blue Oyster Cult, Burning for You, Sean Payton. Come on, baby, I be burning, burning, burning for you. Okay.
That sounds like a
I'm,
personal problem. You should get that checked out.
I'm on the Sean Payton train too.
Yeah, and I mean I think there's going to be a handful of better options than what we currently have. I know people are kind of linking us and Jim Harbaugh as well. I honestly just don't think Michael Bidwell will be one to trade a first round pick for Sean Payton or pay, because Jim Harbaugh is getting paid fucking bank at Michigan. So for him to come back to the NFL, I don't know if he'll be getting a raise. I don't think NFL coaches get paid like that. But he'll be at the highest spot in his game. So he would definitely probably be, top 10 paid head coach coming right in. So I'm not really holding my breath, but it's definitely going to be an interesting offseason. So we'll just put it at that. And it'll all start if we lose this week, because, I mean, if you're knocked out, who knows? Maybe Michael Bidwell will get, kick the can, or hopefully not down the road, but Cliff Kingsbury, that might be the first step. If you can fire your head coach, you're going to get an earlier start on interviews.
Anything
And with
else,
someone,
yeah.
Sean Payton, hanging out there, this might be the year where, I know Michael Bidwell doesn't really seem like the type of owner. Ken Wisenhunt went through the whole year. Danny Green, going even recently, the Josh Rosen era, Steve Wilkes got the whole year. So I don't know if I see it happening, but this would be the year where there's a Sean Payton hanging out and he's not coaching anyone else. So it's going to be interesting.
And he's interested. That's the thing, too. It's like somebody wants to come here and pull us out of the trenches. But my concern with Sean Payton, though, is he'd probably want to be the GM as well, I would imagine. But he kind of fucked New Orleans cap and then say, all right, I'm out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. And it's like the whole Rams thing. It's, well, he won a ring there. I'll take a ring. You can fuck our cap. You can bet me over. I don't give a fuck. Give us that ring. It's
It's
we
been
can win a
100
ring.
something years, damn near, right? Like,
If we can win a ring, and then we're looking as bad as the Rams, this year, when we're only one game fucking better.
We'll still have some fun players, you know what I mean? I'll take a couple seasons like we just had this year after a Super Bowl ring, and
that's why I think so many people are so disappointed that we didn't go all in this year. The year before Kyler Murray's extension goes up, because no matter what happens, if you win this ring, if you win a ring, let's say you go for it this year and you win it, you still have Kyler under contract for the next 5 years.
Exactly.
So it's like Matt Stafford. Matt Stafford's getting up there in age too. So it's like, they could almost be looking in the future as well. I'm not sure exactly
Yeah.
what his contract's looking like at the moment, but I would much rather have Kyler Murray going forward as a
Yeah.
franchise quarterback.
Worst case, he's a good trade asset. An absolute worst case. Like if everything else is a
Well,
dumpster
right.
fire, you know what I mean? There's
Yeah,
no really losing that situation.
exactly. So as much as I, would hate, um, actually, I mean, I would not hate a ring at all, but like you said, Jackie, what Sean Payton did to like kind of their cap, kind of left them, hanging out to dry once Drew Brees left. You kind of saw the writing on the wall, and then what's going on at the Rams. I would take that all day. I don't know.
But I also have to say, if the Saints' quarterbacks had played out, they'd be pretty good still. Like, if Taysom Hill had been this dream quarterback they had thought, the Saints aren't a bad team. They're not built to be bad.
Oh, they always got a pretty tough defense too, and yeah, Jameis Winston, that kind of backfired with them getting hurt, and Andy Dalton's kind of like the last. You don't want to have them starting for you, but yeah,
Yeah,
they could have been much more innovative with Taysom Hill as well. Because I know when we played the Saints, that's what I was saying is Taysom Hill looked good when he had
yeah,
the ball
yeah,
against us, and I'm like, thank God he only had 4 fucking touches. He still
yeah,
had a touchdown. I think he threw it was like 1 for 1 for like 18 yards. It was like thank God he kept Andy Dalton out there. So I agree
yeah.
with that for sure. So on that, is Jackie still here?
Yeah, I'm listening.
Okay.
I'm a,
Okay.
I'm a little zonked from this beer and pain.
With the titties,
You
right?
sucking on those titties, girl. Stop.
Sucking these
Stop.
titties down.
Need a pacifier over here or something.
Cute. But on
So
that note, what
yeah,
were you gonna say, Mac?
I was like we were kind of jumping, from Kyler to maybe segueing. Do you guys want to build the QB now, or do we kind of extend it a little bit more? What else? What do you got on the slate?
Let's build our quarterback.
Let's do it. So I was kind of thinking because there's been so many people and so many lists that have come out, and obviously Kyler has not had a great year. No one's gonna sit here and say, he's
He's an
a
MVP candidate.
he was for most of last season, but you have to keep in consideration he was an MVP candidate for a lot of last season, and that's a lot of things where a lot of quarterbacks in this league just no matter how well they play, they're not going to get to that level. Like no matter how well Geno Smith has been this year, nobody's looking at him as an MVP level QB. So I was kind of thinking, I don't know what you guys want to do. Because I do want to kind of get in the older quarterbacks as well, like the Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady. So it's not like I want to say, okay, we're going to do a redraft for a whole franchise. So if you're starting with one franchise quarterback, who's it going to be? Because you wouldn't go Tom Brady, you wouldn't go Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, yeah.
But I do think that conversation makes it more interesting with Kyler. So I was kind of thinking, let me know what you guys believe as well, but that maybe we could do it off of okay, if we're drafting either a quarterback next season to start next season, and let's say you're the GM and your job is on the line, like your owner has told you you have to win a fucking Super Bowl or you're out. That or it's like okay, next week. Who would you take in one game next week? Because who knows if Tom Brady's not going to be here next year, and it's like, you're really going to put him up there at 46 years old next year, or do you guys want to do it? Okay, if we had to win next week, no matter what, no matter who it is, let's pick the quarterbacks from there. We can kind of go, and we don't have to go through the whole list. I just kind of want to see where Kyler falls down because right here I'm looking at a Pro Football Network list that came out this morning, and they had Kyler all the way at 19, and that is yep.
Blasphemy.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm not putting fucking Derek Carr ahead of Kyler Murray.
Not
Call me an
even.
apologist, call me whatever, but Derek fucking Carr, stop.
Their
Stop.
car sucks.
Yeah, and like
Dude is
Justin
fucking
Fields has
butt
had
cheeks.
4 fucking great weeks in a row. So I kind of just want to know, you know, if there's a game-winning, season on the line or whatever, who is going to be our quarterback? And I do want to get people listening, their inputs a little bit as well, because I know the first handful will probably be given. We could probably write down right now, Pat.
Gosh.
Um, yep, I would put
Yeah,
Allen
yeah.
as well. Yep. Any other givens that you think? I would put Burrow for what he's done.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Burrow.
Anybody disagree? No. Okay.
I'd probably go Hurts over. Oh wait, no, hold on. Yeah,
Well,
Burrow.
but
Then I'm gonna
I
say
would.
Hurts.
Yeah. So I don't. So we don't necessarily need to debate who is ahead of who on this. Let's just who is kind of ahead of Kyler because I agree. I would put Hurts above Kyler right now as well. See what he's doing
Yeah,
this year.
Lamar
He
Jackson.
did well last year as well. So we got Hurts on here. I do not disagree with that. Lamar Jackson. Lamar was an MVP. Kyler was an MVP candidate for half a season. I think the MVP for a whole season. He's banged up right now, but if you have to put somebody ahead of him, I would definitely put Lamar Jackson as
Oh
well.
yeah, for sure.
So here's this list right now. They have Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts, Tua above Joe Burrow,
Yeah.
which is kind of funny. And it's a
Mm,
franchise quarterback power ranking. Lamar Jackson six. So we've got five guys listed on our list, and we have those are five of the top six on this list. I'm not willing to put Tua above any of those guys that we named. What do you guys think?
Not yet.
definitely not.
Not
No,
yet. I won't say definitely not, but not yet. Like it's still
not
too early, but in a season or two we'll talk about it. But I
as
think
much
we have
as
to do a
people
little
want to
more.
say Kyler's injury prone. That's kind of the same thing with Tua. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know how he still came back from a couple of those hits earlier this year, but
Hmm.
he
Well,
definitely
shit.
has a tendency to miss, not be on the field consistently. Kind of reminds me of like a Jimmy G.
Hmm.
Misses a lot of games. What were you gonna say,
Well,
Jackie? I'm
so is
sorry.
Lamar. Like, this is the second
Yeah,
season that Lamar's gotten hurt. Now it's like, you're not going to get a contract, buddy. Like, you should have
yeah.
took whatever the Ravens were going to give you and just settle because
Yeah. How
who knows what
serious
the
is his
fuck you're going to do
injury?
next year.
I didn't keep up with
He's out
it.
for the
Is
rest of
this
the year, I believe.
no way? Jackson's out for the year? See,
You
yeah,
really
that's
we gotta look this up. I don't.
I didn't hear that. That's
Lamar
crazy.
Jackson.
It
Poor
might be
guy,
exaggerating.
dude. That is I don't know. Yeah, now we're fact checking you.
But he's definitely out, and I get that. And I was thinking to myself going over this last night, like, okay, he's hurt, he's been hurt again, um, but he has shown to be an MVP candidate for a whole season. So we can take away kind of the injuries. I know this is kind of the rankings. How there's nothing. It's not scientific. Let's just put it that way. Um, but I don't see anything about season ending just yet. It is a knee
It's week
injury, and
it's
he'll be
week to
Did
missing.
he?
week and it says not to
Yeah,
be not season ending.
Oh,
yeah.
Thankfully.
okay.
That made me
Um,
so sad because after the whole contract thing, that would have been like the worst possible. It's still not good, but I'm glad it's not season ending.
okay, and then so the next that they have that we don't have yet is Gino. And I think I kind of went over a little bit. Let me know if you guys feel differently. But for a guy who's been in the league for 10 years, he still hasn't been able to do it for one full season as of yet. He might do
They
it this year. I still don't think I would put him over Kyler
they
in a
have him over
must win.
Kyler already.
They have him at 7 on this fucking
That's
list,
crazy.
above Justin Herbert.
Okay, that's really
Definitely not
crazy.
above Herbert.
That's
Right.
crazy.
So I'm gonna put Tua and Gino on the side list, and maybe when we come down to debate and Kyler and these guys, if we have a tiebreaker that we need to break or something, I guess there's only three of us. So there's not really a tiebreaker. We can have kind of the group chat come in and kind of voice, what they're thinking as well. Are you keeping an eye on the YouTube, Jackie? I'm on this article right now.
Yeah,
So I
I'm
don't
on the
know.
YouTube. It's
Okay,
just
cool.
Mikey and your brother. Hi, Derek. Hi, Mikey.
Yo, yo, yo. And just to get out of the way, there's a three-way tie for Pick'ems last week between Bob, Rashad, and me. Mikey, I missed another one of yours last week, but you finished. So we finished 9-5. You had 7 wins. Will had 8, and I will not talk about Jackie's record.
You know what? Fuck off, okay?
Hey, it's always bad when I pick the Lions and you don't pick the Lions. You just need to follow suit there. Justin Herbert, how do you guys feel? I would personally, I know there's a lot of Cardinal fans who don't want to feel this way, and I know there's that stat that came out that Justin Herbert has the most losses as a quarterback in the NFL, aside from Matt Ryan, since his rookie season in 2020. Only thing I will say about that is in 2020, his rookie year, His defense gave up the 23rd most points in the league. Last season, his defense gave up the 29th most points in the league. And this season, his defense has given up the 30th most points in the league. So you also have to kind of dive a little bit deep on, some of those baited stats. But I would put Justin Herbert above Kyler Murray. Do we have any obligations? I don't know if that's a word, but do we have
objections?
There we go. Thank you.
I think no, I can't like confidently object. I want to object the fan in me, but I think it's the fan in me. It's a toss up. I think it's 50. I think you can go either way. So it's like the ruling on the field. I can't. It's not enough to reverse the call here.
Good call.
I feel like they're interchangeable.
Exactly. You can't go wrong with either. It depends on the offense you want to build. You want more of the gunslinger type, or do you want more of a guy who can kind of do a little bit of it all, with Murray being able to run and be a little more elusive? It just kind of depends on what you want.
Oh, so this is where we start getting a little interesting, because I would not fucking put Daniel Jones above Kyler on my list.
That's blasphemous.
Okay.
Hell to the motherfucking no.
I wouldn't put Daniel Jones above a lot of people.
They have him 13.
Yeah.
On this
No
list. They have
Kyler
Trevor Lawrence. I don't think we've seen enough from Trevor Lawrence. He has not put together even half a season of MVP type material. I mean, it's only been 2 years. They have him at 12 above Daniel Jones. It's 12 and 13. Trevor
That's
Lawrence
recency bias, and even then, he's not even been that great recently.
No.
I don't know where that's coming from.
Right.
For a first overall draft pick, especially.
Right. At least Kyler has shown that. You know what I mean? Like, even the biggest hater, you can still look back when we were most successful, and see that his numbers are still, head and shoulders above Trevor Lawrence or Daniel Jones.
Yeah.
So I'm going to put those guys off to the side, kind of like Tua and Geno, but in another, category below them. I personally, if it comes to one game right now, I'm still taking Tom Brady. Considering what we just saw Monday night as well, I wrote them off. I said a tweet, fucking Arians carried the Cardinals and the Bucks, and right on cue, fucking Tom Brady gets the ball, fucking last 2 drives, and threw some fucking dimes.
Yeah.
Any objections there? When it comes down to it, for one game, I probably want the guy who's got 6 or 7 rings on my side.
For one game, it's Brady. If it's a future thing, obviously
Yeah.
Murray, because of like longevity. But Brady, absolutely. I mean, Brady would be even awesome in our offense right now. Imagine him throwing to Hopkins and Hollywood Brown. That'd be pretty nice.
He'd get
Can't
killed
lie.
behind this O-line,
Well,
though.
that's true. That's true.
And we said
in
that
fairness,
last year too, Jackie. We were like, nobody can fucking throw behind this O-line, but the second half of the season.
But in fairness, Brady's very good at just getting the ball out like immediately. Yeah. So it's all he's got to do. He's got
reads. Yeah,
it'd be like Colt McCoy, but actually good.
Yeah.
More accurate Colt McCoy.
Yeah.
Anything to say on that, Jackie? I know you. I can hear your brain rattling from here.
Right, my fucking 2 brain cells are having a dance competition right now.
Sucking on that titty of a fucking beer.
Sucking on some titty beer. If you're gonna start to throw the old men into this conversation, so you guys would say Brady over Rodgers?
See, and that's right there as well. I thing with Rodgers, as somebody who owned Rodgers in fantasy this year, and fucking Alan Lazard was his number 1, and I owned Alan Lazard in fantasy, and Alan Lazard is the most frustrating motherfucker to watch try to catch a goddamn football. I think they are neck and neck. I would put both. I mean, Rodgers is the reigning MVP.
Here's an interesting question. Right now, with the Cardinals offense, who would be better, Brady or Rodgers?
I think Rodgers, maybe just a little more elusive
I would
and
also
has a better arm.
I'd also agree. Yeah. So I think that's your answer. Though. Then wouldn't you say Rodgers is over Brady then?
I would take Rodgers over Brady. He's younger. I feel like he's got a little
hallucinogens in him, so he don't give a fuck what the offensive line looks like. That dude's just out
Yeah.
there fucking living his best life. So this is where, this is kind of where I expected us to be right now at 9, and I think this is where it kind of gets a little bit more difficult. And we'll just start right here because a lot of these guys on this listing, they got Jimmy G. I'm still not fucking trusting Jimmy G. Just look at what they,
Awesomeness.
just look at what fucking how the 49ers treated the Super Bowl when he was in it. You know, they cowered away from throwing the fucking ball. And then they have Ryan Tannehill on this list. I'm sorry, I'm not taking Ryan fucking Tannehill
It's a
over Kyler
drill.
Murray. You know, I don't know how you guys feel about that, but they have him at 16 with Carr at 17. But the questions right here, which I think it's a pretty good discussion to be had. Who do you guys want? Let's start with this first. So I have 4 guys here: Tua, Geno, Dak, and Kirk Cousins. Who is the top guy from that you would one game win it all? Kirk Cousins has to play in a prime time, which, you know, as much as we hate Kirk Cousins on this show, I have to give credit where credit's been due. He's been a solid fucking quarterback for, you know, 95% of the games, it seems like.
Yeah.
It seems like his biggest mistakes come, you know, when the lights shine the brightest. But I would not put him above uh, Tua right now. It's I I don't know who I put. Tua, Geno, Dak, or Kirk Cousins.
I'm going Dak. I don't even like Dak that much, but
I
I think
think I would.
he's the game manager enough to where it'll work out. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah, I'm kind of torn between Dak and Tua, but
I
I feel
think
like Dak has
Tua,
most
yeah,
experience.
exactly. I think Tua can give you like the highest ceiling, but I feel like Dak's more likely to pull out the win. It might not be pretty, but I feel like Dak knows how to win an uglier football game where Tua needs to have like a really good game. Everything needs to be going well. When things start going south, I don't know if he's gonna pull it out of the trenches.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I feel pretty much the same way with you guys. Looking over, I feel like Dak kind of gets looked over a lot, but just looking at his numbers, never had more than 13 interceptions in the season. This is year 7. Has thrown for over 4,400 yards twice, 4,900 yards another time. Has thrown for 37 TDs in a season, 30 in another season. I I think Dak would be the next on my list, even above Kyler. Is that bad to say?
No, I'd probably take Dak above Kyler, but I think it's like close.
Yeah, I think we're at the point now that we could probably insert Kyler over the rest of the list.
Okay, so we'll put Dak in here. I think it's just okay. We have, let me just double check to make sure where we're at right now. I don't want to take too much time, even though this has been like a fucking college science project. Okay, so we have Tua, Geno. I don't believe I would take Geno over Kyler. Geno's had basically a healthy DK Metcalf and a healthy Tyler Lockett, which is, I mean, if you're going to
And
have to
a
revive.
competent coach.
And you know what? They've probably had their best offensive line that they've had in maybe a decade, half a
Yeah.
decade, I feel like. How do you feel, Shivs? You would, between Geno and Kyler, is there, I know Geno's having a great year, but can you make a case that if all things are even, you take Geno over Kyler?
No, I'm not
Okay.
taking Geno over Kyler in any scenario, honestly.
Okay. So we basically talked about the ones next on the list: Trevor Lawrence, Daniel Jones. The only other one that I can really see at this moment would be Tua.
Yeah,
Um,
I'll put just from how good of a season Tua is having, I'll put Tua one above Kyler. But
Kind
even
of
then,
what
that
have
would
you
be
been
it.
doing for me?
Yeah, that's if we're not gonna if we're going off and going into the future, Kyler could be like, I mean, I don't think this is the case, but just it looks like Kyler's downhill, going down, trending downhill versus Tua trending uphill. So I can understand
Yeah.
putting Tua one above Kyler right now, and I wouldn't
And
be angry with that.
You know what? And it's a good conversation to be had because Tua, this is like his ceiling right here. If
Yeah,
you're to say what is Tua's, and if you're going to say what is Kyler's floor, this is kind of what we've been seeing. As bad as the
yeah.
offensive line's been, as bad as there's been no run game to speak of, we're still debating
His
between
numbers
the
aren't bad
no,
exactly,
then
but
yeah, they were. And the one thing that has done really well throughout his career is protect the football.
yeah.
And you can win a lot of games just. I mean, fuck. Look at Jimmy G. We talked about it last week.
Hmm.
You protect that football. And you have a decent defense, which the Cardinals have not had a
Somehow,
top 10 defense under Kyler. So it's hard to also tell because Brady. So we saw a stat today. Brady has had a top 10 scoring defense for this is now the 10th year in a row.
yeah.
So if winning cures everything or whatever the fucking things are, Kyler's been handed a bad a poor deck,
Yep.
and not giving him any excuses because this is year 4 and we saw Joe Burrow overcome a bad O line last year. Um, but with a bad O line, it's not like Joey Burrow didn't have Chase and Higgins for all those guys last season, while
Hmm.
Kyler's had battled with Hollywood just being the 1A guy. AJ Green's was getting 50% of the snaps or more. Rondell Moore hasn't been healthy. Now D Hop gets back. Hollywood goes. So
Not to
it's
mention the
really
line.
hard. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So
And
it
the
is
poor
hard.
coaching. Let's be real.
Oh,
The questionable coaching.
you know what? My biggest thing is, I saw someone ask, I can't remember who, it might have been Joanna, say, it was after JJ Watt said something like, the hardest play to defend is the QB sneak.
Yeah.
And Cardinal fans jumped on that.
Yeah.
Like, well, fucking
I saw
Kyler,
that
we've
part.
never seen
Yeah.
it once. And someone asked, is it, I believe it was Joanna, who asked, is this more Kyler or is this more Cliff? I believe it's Kyler not, that preferably Kyler doesn't want to do it. So Cliff is bending over to do what Kyler wants. This is kind of my belief. I would be surprised if they never ran a QB sneak with Pat Mahomes under center at Texas Tech. But with that being said, my whole thing with bringing a new coach here, we need a coach who can push Kyler to lose those narratives. It doesn't matter if you don't want to do anything. We need a coach who's gonna, and that's like a Sean Payton.
Yeah.
That's someone with a pedigree.
He needs a more
Um,
classic coach.
exactly.
He's
Yeah.
he's a less classic player and he needs a more classic coach to balance him out. We have a very like
Yeah. You can't
unclassic
just be
coach and an
soft. Yeah.
unclassic player. It
Yeah.
doesn't
Yeah.
doesn't
You can't
match.
just exactly.
A Cliff Kingsbury could work with a Tom Brady, maybe. You know what I mean? It could work with a different kind of player. It doesn't work with the Kyler Murray who needs some leadership and needs some
And
guidance.
that's why Colt McCoy looks kind of so good when he gets that chance when, you know, he's getting the ball out at 2.1 seconds because he's a vet. He's been in the league 12 years. He reads tendencies. No matter how good QBs are, Patrick Mahomes is still learning. He's fucking said
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
It's hard to win in this fucking league. Dan Marino, the greatest fucking QB to never win a Super Bowl. Does he still own the record? No, he doesn't own the record for most career yards. Tom Brady's been playing for 30 fucking
yeah,
years. But that's why I do believe, like, yeah, he could probably win with those guys because they can read those tendencies a lot earlier. But it's just making Kyle. You want to make people uncomfortable. To be great, you have to be a little uncomfortable, don't you?
yeah,
You can't just stick in your one way and do your thing a certain way. Like, someone who's a small business owner who kind of got thrown into the fire. You kind of have to see what works, what doesn't work. Shit that you might have been predestined with your thought wise, saying, I don't want to do you can't just go through life like that. You have to
yeah.
overcome obstacles. You
Adjust.
have to be pushed. You have to be challenged. And as much as I don't hate Cliff Kingsbury, I say this on here all the time. Like, I feel like the guy's putting in his work. He's doing his time. Um, Sometimes you just need another person behind you, giving you belief that you can do that. Or if you don't think you can do that, we're gonna make you do that until you believe that you can fucking do
Yeah.
whatever that is. So that's kind of sorry for going on the rant, but my pen died right here. So I think that is a perfect spot to put Kyler Murray. We'll put Tua at 10. I don't know if anyone disagrees in the chat, and then we'll put Kyler at 11.
Yep, that's fair.
Because I'm not putting Trevor Lawrence. I'm not
No.
putting Daniel Jones. I'm not putting Geno Smith. I'm sorry. We have not seen it from you, Geno, for a full season. You've been in the league for a fucking decade. You're having a great year. I get that. But I'm also not going to be putting Ryan Tannehill. There's a reason why the
Absolutely
Titans.
not.
It's a reason why the GM got fired. After so many winning seasons, because the ownership can see, okay, this is, Tannehill's not going to make you rise in the playoffs like a Kurt
He's
Warner, man.
such a
Like,
mid quarterback average.
yeah. So you
He's,
can see, okay, we're a good team, but we don't, whatever the Titans, obviously, get rid of AJ Green AJ
yeah,
Brown,
one of the
and
colors.
yeah, there you go. So I'm not putting Tannehill over him as well. We're not gonna put Derek Carr over him. What has he fucking done? What has Derek Carr done? In about double the length of career so far of Kyler Murray. Has
Not
he
a
won a playoff?
goddamn thing.
Yeah.
Nothing.
And the one person who's above Kyler Murray, who I think, in another year, I think it'd be interesting to revisit. And this will actually be an interesting list to revisit in a year for sure. But Justin Fields, they won 3 fucking games this year, the Bears. No matter how good he's looked, you can't. That's basically what Kyler was doing his rookie year.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to string a little bit more of type of winning football together for anyone to put you, and show that you're more of a thrower without his legs. There's one thing about Kyler is that, last season we saw him put it all together for a stretch with his arm. The deep pass was the best in the league, and I don't know if you guys saw a stat this year that he's ranked the worst deep thrower in the game, which, you can put that to coaching. You're not coaching your quarterback up enough to have the fundamentals right.
A lot of it's the line.
Plus the offensive line and getting happy feet when you actually do get time.
Yeah.
The NFL is a quick paced game. If the difference between 2 seconds of not being hit and then just adding another second, it seems like a lot in TV. But when you're a quarterback right there and you don't trust your offensive line, the happy feet are a real thing. So I think I'm good with Kyler at 11. After Kyler on this list, they have Andy Dalton, Jacoby Brissett, Matthew Stafford. So this must be a current thing. Matthew Stafford, he had to overcome a lot of shit early in his career. I feel like he almost had a type of so what I'm looking for, narrative about him not being able to win. You're on a bad team. You're just racking up fucking stats because you're behind a lot. And nobody really believed that, he was really a franchise guy. And it took him almost a decade in the league as well. So I still would. I mean, he put Kyler on that Rams team last year. I don't know if their result changes at all. Like, they had to upgrade from Jared Goff, and I'm not putting Jared Goff above fucking Kyler, but they went from Jared Goff to Matthew Stafford just because they thought that was a little bit more of an increase on a guy who, had a little bit more about him. But you can make a case maybe Matthew Stafford for Kyler Murray, but I feel confident with us putting
I'd put
Kyler at
Stafford
11.
right below Murray.
Yeah,
But again, I could say an argument for either or, wouldn't be mad.
And then after that, they have Russell Wilson. The Broncos have a top 3 defense in the league and can't win games. That's damning on the offense and the quarterback. Right now, I would not put Russell Wilson in any must-win game. Marcus Mariota, Mac Jones, Tyler Heineke, Jared Goff, Bailey Zappi, Matt Ryan. So, yeah, I think I'm good at 11.
Yeah, no, you're naming off the fucking garbage bin at this point. So, yeah, we're good.
Okay. Sorry for taking so long.
You're fine.
No, you're fine. And now on the subject of quarterbacks, there are 5 attributes to making the best quarterback. We've got passing touch, so accuracy, We got speed, vision, size, and elusiveness. Give me some guys that, match these traits and to build your best quarterback.
Well, how about you start off, Jackie? What do you got? Because make me nervous over here. I don't know which way I should go.
No, you're fine. So if we're gonna go with elusiveness, I gotta give it to my boy Kyler.
Yeah, same.
Speed, I'm gonna say it's Lamar.
Same.
Size, I'm gonna go Josh Allen.
Same. I think we're gonna have the same list here.
Right. So passing touch accuracy, I'm gonna go with Patrick Mahomes.
Of course. And I think I know the vision, but let's see.
Vision was kind of hard, but I'm gonna say Tom Brady.
Yep, that's what I had too. I had
Yes,
the same exact list.
We
That's the best
built the
quarterback.
perfect quarterback.
Well, it also helps that Tom Brady has 30 years in the league, so
Of course
he's seen it all. He's seen it all.
Mac, is there any disagreements in those?
No, I mean I think you're pretty much spot on. What I will do though is I'll kind of keep it to an all-time Arizona Cardinal list, and I'm gonna go vision and passing touch. Kurt Warner, no doubt.
Are they all just going to be Kurt Warner?
I mean,
make sure Kurt Warner,
other than elusiveness,
sprinkled Kyler.
Yeah, Kurt Warner and elusiveness, Kyler. All right, there you go.
And then no, I'm gonna try to get. So they have size on there, right? Is that one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Size is one.
People are gonna hate me, but I'm gonna put John Skelton at 6'6", 250.
That makes sense.
He grew up in El Paso. That's where my mom's from, so he always has a close heart. When he was the starting quarterback, fucking, dating myself a little bit, we drove up to Flagstaff, and I got a chance to kind of meet him. He was doing autographs. I didn't want autographs, or I'm like, I don't want John Skelton's autograph. Let me just talk to the guy for a minute. And it's even still to this day, my brother makes fun of me because we were up there and like, oh, John, you're from El Paso, huh? He's like, yeah. I'm like, you went to this high school? He's like, no, I went to the other one. I'm like, oh, cool. You ever go, and like the place we go to in El Paso is a Charcoal Burger. I think I still fucked that up, the Charcoal Burger. So I was like, you ever been to the Charcoal Burger? And like my brother and like my buddy like looked at me and I totally stuttered, and he's like, no, sorry, kid. Fucking walked away. So that's my John Skelton story.
You were starstruck.
As for speed, so this is gonna be a little different. Speed, I'm going Kyler. Passing touch, vision, both Kurt. Size, John Skelton. Speed, I'm going Kyler. Elusiveness, I'm going Jake the Snake. He's just kind of elusive. I got to give him a little love, a little bit.
I love Jake Plummer, fucking pothead, growing mushrooms.
Oh yeah,
that's my kind of guy right there.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I fucks with it. All right, now we got to build our perfect wide receiver. For the traits, we've got hands, we've got route running, we've got competitiveness, and we got strength.
We'll let you guys create the perfect wide receiver, and I can maybe help a little bit. Hands-wise, I'm still going Larry Fitzgerald.
Definitely.
Here's my hands. One hand, Larry Fitzgerald. The other hand is Hop. One on each side.
There you go.
Damn, that's a good one.
Your left hand, you got your right hand.
I'm going competitive Larry Fitzgerald, honestly.
I know playoff Larry was something different.
And he's loyal, and he's stuck with the same team, and he's stayed. He's always played his heart out while being on a shit team with no good quarterback his whole career. I think that speaks to his competitiveness. He always wanted to win on his team.
And he has that trait where when you need a guy to be good, he can deliver.
Exactly.
He can step into the moment instead of back down from it.
Exactly. He shines.
Yes. Strength.
I might have to give it to Larry as well. Or DK. That's any big body receiver, really.
True. Yeah.
Plus, he looks like he's fucking juiced.
Yeah, I give it to DK. He does look like he's juicing. And then
route running,
I'm going Hopkins.
I had difficulty with.
I went Hopkins on route running. He's really elusive on his routes.
If we're going,
I was trying to go for Cardinals. Yeah, I wasn't trying to go away.
Which I like. Thank you. This is a Cardinals podcast. Thank you guys all for listening. route running. If I was just going to go the NFL route running, I'd either probably go Justin Jefferson or Cooper Cup, maybe.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
Cooper Cup's route running's pretty crazy. Who do you have route running, Jackie?
I was gonna say Justin Jefferson, and if we're gonna keep it strictly Cardinals, I will say D Hop. I
Yeah.
had saw on the Pat McAfee show they had Chuck Pagano kind of breaking down our offense, and he had pointed out something about DeAndre Hopkins that he's really good. Like when you're pressing a man, that he gets his hands above the corners to
Hmm.
kind of get them in some trouble to bait that holding call. It's very
Yeah, because
he's very strategic.
Yeah.
yeah, because he's not a small guy too. So cornerbacks are usually a little smaller than him. When he gets his hands on them, either they're gonna fucking start getting on their heels, or they're gonna have to try to hold them somehow. So
And he's got those
just
fat ass hands. They're like huge. They just push you around them.
You know what they say about big
so
hands? Big dick.
big gloves. Okay, so I'm gonna go real quick. Cardinals, hands and competitiveness. They could go either way, but hands, I'm gonna go Larry Fitzgerald. Competitiveness all time, I'm gonna go Anquan Bolden. Strength wise, I think I am going to go. Obviously, you go Anquan Bolden again.
Yeah, I was thinking him
Um,
too for the all Cardinals.
yeah, and then route running ability. Mm,
Andy Isabella.
sheesh. That would.
Christian Kirk.
We
Yeah.
don't want to get canceled on here. Route running ability.
Michael Floyd. While drunk.
So I'm gonna go strength. I'm gonna go strength instead of Anquan because y'all got Anquan on something. I'm gonna go strength with David Boston. That motherfucker was steroid ridden. So that's all time Cardinal. Route running ability. I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna go Roy Green back in the day.
Roy
St. Louis
Green.
Cardinals, Phoenix Cardinals early on. Dude was a burner, but that dude had some hell of a good route running. So just kind of mix it up a little bit, get some other guys in there, so we can move right along.
All right. And now we got to build our perfect running back. We got vision, strength, speed, hands, and heart. So pretty much what we had for wide receiver, but for a running back.
I'm disappointed there's no big dick in here, Jackie. With all your big dick awards, you think you would have photoshopped something, but it's okay. We're learning.
I think Hopkins gets the Big Dick Award this time.
Hopkins gets the Big Dick Player of the Year award. And fuck anyone that got on my ass or calling out Patrick P.E. Deerson.
Did Cardinals fans call you out?
Was juicing too. Yeah, people were like, "Well, Hopkins was using juice too."
Motherfucker didn't try masking it. There's a difference.
Yeah.
Dude, it coming out, D-Hop had like what 0.01. Patrick Peterson was actively masking it with a doctor fucking wife. You can't tell me she's not, involved at all.
Writing his scripts. Yeah.
Yeah, please get the fuck out of here. Fuck you, Patrick Peterson. Talk about that on your Always Smoke podcast. Whatever the fuck it's called. I am gonna go running back speed wise. I'm gonna go JJ Arrington. That guy had some speed on him.
For speed, for Wolves, I put Kyler Murray for speed, even though he's not a running back. Just for the jokes that everyone always makes.
Well, shit, you could probably put Lamar there too.
Exactly. That was like kind of either Lamar or Murray for the speed. I couldn't think of anyone. Now you reminded me of Arrington now, but I couldn't think of like any like.
I couldn't think of anyone really
speedy,
fucking super quick.
Like, yeah.
I don't feel like we have had a ton of those guys. Jackie,
hands, David Johnson.
Oh, I was gonna go David Johnson as well, for sure.
Speed. I don't know who's fast.
That's what I'm saying, right? That's why I put Murray. We didn't really have anyone.
Like in the NFL, if we're going speed, I would probably have to put up there. I mean, McCaffrey was kind of a burner. I don't know if he's still that guy. I feel like a lot of the running backs are kind of getting a little bit older. You're not going to put really Dalvin Cook up there.
There are a lot of
DeAndre
youngsters.
Swift is quick in open field. Anybody in the group chat got a speed?
Yeah, comment in the group chat who you think the speediest wide receiver in the league right now is.
Yeah, or running back.
Running
Yeah,
back.
Or
that's
yeah,
a good
running back. My
one.
bad, my bad. But for strength, I'm gonna say Derrick Henry. I think that's obvious.
Oh,
He's
King
a tank.
Henry. Yeah.
For keeping it Cardinals, I'm going James Conner though for strength.
Oh yeah,
I'm
yeah.
going all-time
If it's
Cardinals.
Cardinals, James Conner.
Yeah, he gets a lot of awesome stiff arms. Like people, I don't know. I feel like
True.
both fan base like turns on him really quick on a recency bias, but I'm still with James Conner. I still think he's a really good running back.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's definitely more of a power back, if anything, which is why it's so frustrating when it's 3rd and 1 and we're doing a read option and not handing the
4th
ball
and
off.
1, we're chucking it 20 yards downfield.
Yeah,
Exactly.
it's line in the football. At the end of the day, football is a fucking, a physical sport. Line up, hit that motherfucker in front of you, feed the power back in James
Exactly.
Conner.
We don't even need the QB sneak if we had just used
Like,
James Conner the right way. You know what I mean? We could damn near wild at James Conner for the little 1 yard. I don't know why we don't do that. Thinking how weird Cliff Kingsbury is. You think he'd try that kind of stuff, but he doesn't.
I guess I get him like running what he wants to run for 98% of the game. I get that. But when the time calls for it, just look how, innovative, flexible Bill Belichick is or was when he had Jacoby Brissett having to fill in for a fucking year. They were running triple options and shit. It doesn't matter what your philosophy is.
Winning should be the philosophy. You know what I mean?
Yes, exactly.
Philosophy needs to be winning. And I feel like that's what we don't have, and that's what we need. We need a coach to come in and bring that winning philosophy here, and that's what Sean Payton could do, and that's why I think a lot of us are gravitating towards that.
Vision. So I'm having vision. I am gonna probably go all-time Cardinal. I'm gonna go
Edgarian James.
Oh my God! Look at you.
Question mark. That's what I was thinking. That's what I was thinking.
Well, I was thinking, is it between Vision or Heart? Is Edge gonna get? Because that motherfucker, seeing him run in those 2008 playoffs, man.
Yeah.
That motherfucker had Vision and Heart.
Yeah.
Yeah. The thing about Edger and James, he was always falling forward. You're gonna hit him at the line of scrimmage, he's getting 2 yards because he's fucking falling forward, 6 feet. But yes, thank you.
I had a Heart, kind of a joking one, but also a little serious. Adrian Peterson, minus the hitting the kids stuff, but he ran really well when he came here as his 12th year in the season, or 12th season.
He had one stellar game and disappeared.
Yeah, no, he did. We had a good season for us.
He ran hard though. He never backed down. That offensive line was dog shit. That was not pretty. And that's probably what led to David Johnson fucking, kind of end up shying away. They had that one good offensive line year, was his rookie and second year, and then after that, fuck, because that was when is that when we brought in Chris Johnson as well?
Yeah, Chris Johnson was also really. I forgot about Chris Johnson. He had some heart too.
Hey, that's the all-time speed guy.
There you go, Chris Johnson for speed.
There we go. There's our speed. Yeah,
well, I'm good with Vision being Edge and then Heart being AP for the all-time Cardinals. Yeah, that works.
Yep.
Cool.
So that's our superstar offense. So for funsies,
Cardinals.
For funsies, let's build a terrible wide receiver, because there's a lot of traits for that.
Oh, buddy.
AJ Green's awareness,
decision making, personality, workout routine, hands, height, speed, eating habits, knees.
Ugliness.
Decision making, I'm going to go with Antonio Brown. Personality, I'm going to go Antonio Brown. Hands, I love Hollywood Brown, but he's kind of a ball dropper. And I can't think of another ball dropper.
He's the worst. He doesn't drop that many balls. I've seen him drop 2 this whole season.
All-time hands, I'm putting either Bryant Johnson on that motherfucking list or, God, who was that other motherfucker during that era, too? I feel like he'd get downfield.
Christian Kirk would drop some balls, too.
Oh, Christian Kirk, that motherfucker.
Andy Isabella catches off his body.
And the body catches. The bread basket.
Let's go.
Personality, I think Josh Gordon. You could also maybe workout routine. Josh Gordon.
There we go. Yeah, and decision making. Yeah, we can put Josh Gordon on half of these
Honestly, though,
mental
I'm gonna go
ones.
ahead and say that that's NFL's bad decision making. Let the man smoke, but
Right.
but no, bearing the rules. Yeah, the workout routine maybe shouldn't smoke as much as he did.
I'm offended by the picture that you sent Jackie for the worst
Larry
possible
Fitzgerald
wide.
speed, right?
Yeah,
Larry
that
Fitzgerald
motherfucker.
He
speed.
Did
was
you
never
not
known
see
as
him in the
slow.
Super Bowl?
Yeah, he was only known as slow as like what his last season, which is like he was like 37, 36.
He
Like,
was
come
never a
on.
burner, but you were never going to catch him in open field.
He's like
You know that?
6'4". You don't want
Oh,
him. He
those
doesn't need to be a
strides. He's
burner,
a
you know?
thoroughbred. Yeah, those
Yeah.
legs. Yeah,
He
I
was
bust
definitely
all
not
over that.
slow, you know? He was never considered slow. He was maybe not the speediest guy, but he was average speed. With Matt had him at what, 95 speed, 94 speed?
Really?
Something like that. Mid 90s, low 90s.
I can't even think of anybody slow, so we'll leave it at that.
Oh.
But for height, I'm gonna say Rondell Moore. Dude's like 5'7".
Yeah.
Teeny tiny little guy.
Yeah, definitely not the biggest. Steve Smith was pretty short too, though. Steve Smith's like what, 5'8",
Oh,
5'9"?
yeah,
He
that
talks
dude
a
is a
big game
fucking
for being
dog.
fucking short.
I mean, he's like one of the best receivers.
I'll go
Good, but
workout habits, and it might not be fair. I'm gonna get to John Brown because I remember BA used to bust his ass fucking in practice. I
that man's
said,
got a sickle cell or whatever. Leave him alone.
Poor fucking guy.
"Hey,
Yeah.
Bruce Arians can do it. Fucking, I can't do it." Yeah,
Knees,
that's
I'm
all.
gonna say Odell, since that guy
Knees,
still can't come back from his ACL injury.
Knees, I'm going Anthony Davis. Wrong sport, but
Data Davis.
Data Davis, street clothes Davis, fucking fuck that guy Davis.
um, there have been some bad wide receivers in Cardinals history, but I feel like Brian Johnson sticks out like one of the worst to me. For some reason, he just keeps popping in my fucking head. So,
it was a
yeah, I
bad
don't,
cornerback that they get the Cardinals. Justin Bethel. I remember him like just being pissed off at Justin Bethel a lot. Does anyone remember him?
Me
or
too. He was fucking burnt toast because he was good
Something
on
about
special
him.
teams,
who
Yeah,
is that?
and
yeah.
then they
Brandon what?
promoted him.
Brandon Williams. That was rough.
That
Oh
guy we
yeah,
drafted,
Brandon Williams
Running
too. The
back.
Hogwash.
running back turned cornerback. Yeah, he sucked too. He was ass. Why would we draft that? That was the time when I understand why people were mad at Steve. Drafting Brandon Williams.
Yeah, it's the whole thing with him. It feels like he just thinks he's smarter than the rest of the room. Half the
It's
time,
kind of
which
how Cliff feels too, and that's why I feel like, and Kyler feels almost
yeah.
that way too. And I feel like it doesn't work that we have three fucking top of our organization that all feel that way. We need someone to balance it out.
I
Yeah, it's
feel like
not
I'm missing some
beneficial.
wide receivers in here. Who else we got? Route running, Andy Isabella. Amen to that. Durability, Beanie Wells. Yup. Chris Johnson, most at speed. Who's the most frustrating wide receiver to you guys, aside from Andy Isabella?
For the
Uh,
Cardinals?
Michael
yeah,
Floyd. Michael
Michael
Floyd.
Floyd. That was
Dude,
disappointing.
he had some really bad drops that second year. He was
Yeah.
so good that one year, in 2015, when we
Hmm.
lost the NFC Championship. And then the next year, we're like, okay, let's just bounce back. And the whole team just did not bounce back. And he really fell flat, man. He was dropping balls. He was just terrible.
Let me give a shout
I
out to
would
our boy Brandon. I think that's our boy Brandon who went to Mexico.
didn't get
For the
arrested for groping a woman. Shout out.
no, that was our coach. Thank
Yeah,
you very
yeah.
much. But yeah, I just want to give another shout out to Mikey Cardinal, Brandon, my boy Eric, Juan. I know you guys are all up in here. Shout out to you guys. Thank you. Lone Tone Capone, what up though? Nice to see you in here again. So we appreciate you guys for joining us and being a part of the conversation a little bit. Are we gonna wrap it up on the worst running back? What you got?
We can do worst running back, or if you guys want, I was gonna go through the position group and do who would win in a fight to the death.
Okay, let's do that. That sounds
I
fun.
like that one, yeah.
All right. For our offense, For the quarterbacks, we've got Kyler Murray, Colt McCoy, Trace McSorley. Out of those three, who's winning in a fight to the death?
Fight to the death. I think Kyler. Who the fuck's gonna catch him?
But if it's a fight to the death, he has to kill them. You know, like it's not just he can't just outrun them. He's gonna get tired eventually. I'm gonna go
Colt McCoy
Trace
is older.
Sorley for the youth. The youth and the size. Kyler's pretty well. No,
Trace is kind of big. I'll give him that. He's got the arm sleeve tats going. I know
is it slightly racist to assume that Kyler Murray might know some kind of martial arts? I don't know too much about his background, but he seems like a really athletic guy. Exactly. You know what I mean? Like if he feels like it's not just going off. It's not just the Asian thing. That's definitely affecting it a little bit, but it's not just that. He's very athletic. You know, he's got money. He's had means to sign up for a class like this his whole life. I feel like he likes anime. He likes anime. He likes Naruto and stuff.
He looks like he's from an anime.
Yeah. Okay, now we're getting racist.
I'm kidding. I'm canceled now.
Hey,
now we got canceled. Say he looks like he's from an anime.
That's his podcast right here. Last time, like a month ago, Jack was like, I don't know, I got some sort of racist beer. I don't want to say it. And I started spitting out every fucking racist term you can fucking think of, and I don't think I was right. So
it's pronounced Narragansett, but it's funny you mentioned that too, because on the can it says the official beer of the clam, and I read that out loud. My husband's like, "Where?"
They knew what they were doing there. They knew what they were doing there.
Brewed in Alabama? What the fuck?
So I'm like, no, it's the beer of the clam, not the clan.
Your hubby's like, give me two.
Right?
Yeah, what the fuck? I do think Trace McSorley probably would come away with that. But honestly, McCoy, I don't know if he's got a son or not, but if he's got, that dad strength, who the fuck knows? So
Colt McCoy is like the fucking white middle-aged dude out of shape that'll show up. That'll show up to like the YMCA and hoop up all the young guys, and then fucking never step foot in a gym anytime after like a year after that.
That sounds like my freshman year of college days. Fucking. Now here I am.
No, I'm gonna still say Kyler wins in a fight to the death, and I would think maybe Trace McSorley gets killed first.
Oh, okay.
Canceling Jackie. But McCoy has more experience. No groping. Yep, that's Brandon. What up, Brandon? No groping.
All right, we've got James Conner, Keontae Ingram, Corey Clement, Daryl Williams. Who's winning in a fight to the death?
James Conner for sure. He's
Dude beat cancer. He'll beat your ass.
Oh, fuck yeah. Hey, and just shout out real quick. James Conner beat cancer, and your dad beat cancer. Shout out to Jackie's dad.
My dad did beat cancer.
I met your dad last year, so shout out Pops.
I want to have a fun Pop story before we wrap out. We'll share a little bit of stories.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna say James Conner. I don't know who would die first. Probably Daryl Williams since he's on IR anyways.
Keontae Ingram maybe. He's a motherfucker.
He's inexperienced.
Yeah, he probably was. Yeah. I was gonna say he went to USC, so he might be from Compton, but that might be racist too. So we won't say that. But he just seems a little bit thinner, a little slimmer than everyone else.
Yeah.
But let's go Corey Clement. I'll go Corey Clement. That motherfucker. He got one catch for us. I think he's only played like 9 snaps, but whatever.
All right, wide receivers: D-Hop, AJ Green, Marquise Brown, Greg Dortch, Rondell Moore, Robbie Anderson.
Doesn't seem okay. Either Robbie Anderson or Hopkins. I don't know. Robbie Anderson looks like Loke Dog from Don't Be a Menace in Society or whatever. Yeah, so I don't know if it's that, but Hopkins has those fat ass hands. Those probably will knock you out.
Shout out to the Waynes bros.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm gonna give it to Robbie. He looks a little hood.
Yeah.
Hop's got a skincare routine.
Yeah, he's a model. He's a model. He doesn't want to mess his face up.
Pretty.
I would honestly. Rondell is kind of jacked, but that motherfucker, I feel like he'd like hit somebody and break his wrist or something. So
yeah, he's like 5'4".
Yeah, it don't matter. The bigger the person, the harder they fall, or something like that, right?
Yeah.
But yeah.
Moving right along, we've got the tight ends: Trey McBride, Zach Ertz. I'm gonna say Max Williams, even though he's not on the depth chart.
Yeah, I'm going Max Williams. He's the most physical out of the fucking tight ends. He doesn't mind putting his hands on a motherfucker. Zach Ertz is a little bit more finesse of a tight end. Trey McBride, who'd probably just stand behind Zach Ertz.
Yeah.
Call his two moms to tell them to fuck him up.
Damn!
Scared.
Damn! I forgot he does have two moms, huh?
He does have two moms. Shout out lesbians.
Man, imagine having 4 titties to suck on when you're a baby. Sheesh.
Got to pick the litter. All
That's
right, we're
pretty.
canceled now.
Ain't nobody listen to this show after an hour. We're good.
Yeah, exactly. That's the rules of podcasting. You can start saying whatever.
This is horny hours now.
What up, Joel, dude? Thanks for jumping in, man. We appreciate you, bro.
All right, offensive linemen. We've got Josh Jones, Max Garcia, Billy Price, Lucita Smith, and Kelvin Beachum.
What about Will Hernandez?
And what about Humphreys?
I mean, they're all on IR. We can throw them in there too if you want.
Okay, we're going off active roster.
Billy Price would die first in the fight. Let's just put that out of the
Billy Price, I would gang up on Billy Price and shank him in the kidney.
Do we still have Max Garcia? Because I want him to die first.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yes.
Okay, I want him to die first. I don't want him to win. As long as he dies first, I'm okay with whoever wins.
Damn.
I'm gonna say fucking Humphreys wins the whole thing.
Yeah, well, he gets hurt a lot though, so he might be kind of weak. He might be fragile.
Honestly, I'm going Will Hernandez. Motherfucker went to college in El Paso. Come on, man.
He's got family in Mexico. He's probably got cartel ties.
Oh, yeah. You can't. You spend your college years in El Paso, Texas? Don't give a fuck about no cartel or Juarez or whatever the fuck. Come on, man. You gotta go Will Hernandez. He's killing everyone. Tag team competition. Royal Rumble. That's what we need. We need a fucking offensive line Royal Rumble. That's what we need.
Just be a bunch of fat dudes humping.
Well, motherfuckers watch wrestling anyway. Shout out Will. So what's the difference? Sheesh. I grew up in the 90s, though, where like 90% of the wrestlers were fat. Those are the good wrestling days. Nowadays, it's like all these fucking models wrestling. Not like I pay attention, but...
Yeah, where's the beer bod? Yeah, the dad bods, the beer bellies.
The bra and panty matches.
Yeah, those probably still exist. I don't know, maybe not. Those
the
things
boiler room brawl.
What happened?
I don't know. I think Mac.
Yeah, you got kicked. I thought I got kicked, disconnected. Like, I
got disconnected too because it went quiet for a second.
Yeah, it got really quiet.
Huh.
And now we wait.
Technical difficulties, folks.
That was planned.
It's all part of the gig.
I'm in.
Now it says he's back. Are you back?
I'm back.
Were you taking a shit or what? Had a flush?
No, what was the last thing you heard me say?
Nothing.
Nothing? Oh, damn, I went on a whole rant, too.
We heard some lady screaming, help, help, help in the background. I don't know.
Damn, I went on a whole rant about fucking how the wrestling nowadays is nothing compared to the 90s. But that is good that our listeners did not hear that. Let's move right along.
Well, we heard up to the models part.
Yeah. To speed things up a little bit, I'm going to say the defense as a whole. We've got J.J. Watt, Lecky Fotu, Zach Allen, J. Sanders, Zaven Collins, Isaiah Simmons, Marcus Golden, Byron Murphy, Jalen Thompson, Buda Baker, Marco Wilson. Who's winning in a fight to death? Who's dying first?
Buda Baker's winning. He's
dying first.
Who's dying first? J.J. Watt. He hurt his shoulder immediately. He's like the big guy who everyone's scared of, and you think he's gonna win, and then he just ends up getting knocked out first.
I'm gonna say Byron Murphy dies first.
Like Brock Lesnar in the UFC and shit.
Yeah,
but he's a dad now. So's Buda. I think it would be down to. I think it'd be down to Buda and J.J. Watt, and I think Buda takes it home.
Yeah,
I think it would be down to Buda and Zach Allen.
Me too. That's what I was gonna say.
I feel like Zach Allen is that protege. You know, he's learned 2 years under J.J. Watt, and now it's like the end of the movie. You know, it's the end of the Cardinals movie, and fucking they're sword fighting or whatever the fuck they do. And those,
they're wieners.
You know, There you go. They're jerking
Yeah,
off next to each other, and whoever comes first loses. No, but
team building.
Yeah,
I feel
team
like he's
bonding.
like the protege beating the master almost. So I would put Zach Allen like it was a semifinal. It was like let's say the semifinal was Buda Baker versus Isaiah Simmons. Ooh, that'd be a fight right there. I feel like that'd be a good
But
fight.
Simmons to me is too pretty.
He is
Simmons,
too pretty, but that motherfucker lays
Murphy,
the
and
wood.
Marco, they would like be in the bottom because they're too pretty.
Isaiah lays that wood though. He's not like no softy. That motherfucker fucking drops
That's what you
shoulders on
said.
everyone. Yeah, that motherfucker never soft. But I feel like that would be the semifinal in one, category or one side of the bracket, and then the other side would be JJ versus Zach. Ooh.
After they
You got
double
to give
team
it to the
killed
young gun.
Gardeck.
Oh, Gardeck would be a fucking monster too, but
Allen
yeah,
and JJ Watt would team up on Gardeck, and then Allen would surpass his master, and then would lose to Buda
I feel like
Baker.
Gardeck kind of looks like
Underdog.
Cactus Jack or something like that, or Jake the Snake, fucking Roberts. I feel like Gardeck would be coming in the ring with a fucking bag, fucking rope tied around, fucking
You
snake. He would just empty on fucking
gotta throw
Max
thumbtacks on the
Garcia
ground and
after he beat
shit.
him or some shit.
He'd sprinkle nails and thumbtacks on the ground before he body
Ah,
slams them and shit.
I am gonna go. Ooh, you got to go Buda Baker, man. I don't know. That's kind of
This is the heart.
cop out.
He's the
Yeah,
underdog.
you're out
He's
here with the
young.
fucking high ankle sprain. That motherfucker be with one eye socket.
He was playing
He's
with a
not
broken
stopping.
hand or wrist a couple seasons ago.
Yeah.
Remember? Damer got an
No.
interception a couple times. I think he did even
Yeah.
get one or something.
Oh, he did. Yep.
Yeah, and a broken hand.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
you fucking
that's
play
the
with that
toughest
to cast it
motherfucker.
up.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. That's the toughest motherfucker on the defense, no doubt about it.
Yeah, the size
Gotta
doesn't
go
matter when it
Buddha.
comes to him.
Nope. Yep.
Yep.
When you
All
got a
right.
10-inch fucking big dick player of the award sitting on your mantle via Jackie, yeah, you do whatever you
That's
want.
like a golden penis.
All right.
All right. So before we close out, we've been fans for a long time. Do you guys have any fun stories relating to this team? Because I mean, it's been a lot of fucking doom and gloom,
This
but
team
there's
or
just some things.
organization?
We can go
Or
team organization. I remember Mac, you were telling me like my first time on this podcast that you like smoked weed at Larry Fitzgerald's house or some shit.
what?
Outside of his house. He used to
Oh,
live in the
oh, oh.
foothills in a gated
That
community.
changes it.
And so
Yeah.
everyone between our two high school, yeah, not at his house, but the quick story version, real quick, is that we all had the gate code to go into their little mountain housing area. And Larry Fitzgerald lived all the way at the top. There's only one house between him and like literally the top of the fucking mountain. And there was these two parking spots in between the two houses. So somehow that used to just became the smoking spot for fucking Mountain Point and fucking Desert Vista fucking fools in high school. So we used to go there and smoke. And we really would only go there when we probably saw Larry walk out of his house twice. And you could just tell you never saw his face. You just saw his hair. And it was always a rumor.
Badass.
Yeah, there you go. You put a fucking cup on that.
Mm.
It was a rumor that was Larry Fitzgerald's house. So it was always like, don't fucking trash this fucking these two parking spots, man. Like, let's not make it fucking so Larry Fitzgerald has to call the cops on it. We're just coming up here
Yeah.
to, drink beer, fucking whatever, smoke some weed. And one time we were smoking, and Larry Fitzgerald's garage is probably about 30, 45 feet away from us. And you could see the window. There's a little, window on his garage at the top, and it was open. And fucking, we were smoking a blunt, and all you hear is a bird call. And we're all looking around, we're like, what the fuck? And we were just like, after like 10 seconds, we realized, oh my God, it's Larry Fitzgerald fucking messing with us, dude. It's literally,
No way. That's so awesome.
I put this on my life, dude.
That's
And
the
like,
crazy story.
all just like, oh shit, like fuck, should we dip or whatever? And my dumb ass is like, Larry, I love you.
Larry Legend.
Sign
And
my titties.
the bird call stopped right there. It was like, fuck, he knows who lives here. Fuck. That motherfucking house was put on sale not even a year later, man. But Yeah, that was a good story. I got good story. Thank you for
It's an
bringing it up.
amazing story. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have anything, Shibby?
I don't have anything that's gonna top that. They're all sad. I saw my grandpa cry when we lost the Super Bowl.
Oh no.
Oh
That's the only time I ever
no!
see my grandpa cry is when we
Fuck,
lost the Super
really?
Bowl. Yeah.
Did you cry
It,
too?
I was like,
I was mad.
I was mad, but I was probably what? I don't know how old I was,
Young.
12, 13.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't too old.
Fuck,
So
man.
as much as I
Like,
I
did want to see
cried.
them win, I was still hopeful. I was like, oh, we'll get them next
yeah.
year type. I didn't realize the
Yes.
pain and suffering that came with this team. I didn't get it yet. So that's when my grandpa cried. He's like, we got so close after 50
Fuck.
fucking years. It'll probably never happen again. And he was
Is
right.
Gramp still around?
Yeah, yeah. He
Shout
barely
out
watches
Oh,
Grandpa.
we got to give one
anymore.
for
Oh,
Gramps.
really?
Right, yeah, he watches, but he's like, I can't keep up anymore. He's like, he's
Yeah.
so tuned out of us like sucking and getting his hopes up. So he
Man.
watches when we're doing well. He kept up a little bit when we were 7-0, and then I remember calling him when we were like maybe 5 weeks from then, and he's like, I don't know what's going on. And then
He's like, fuck this team, Shibby.
and then the playoffs came around, and then the next year he's like, I don't even watch it. And we're talking about the offseason. He's like, I haven't keeping up. I don't even know these people's names anymore. And he was getting mad.
See, and that's why, like, you see all these, it's like the Cardinals have the longest franchise drought out of all professional sports teams. And it's like, really, it's only a very, minute section of people that have followed the Cardinals from, Chicago. So
Yeah.
it's like,
Dude, there's no
that's your
Chicago.
grandpa.
There's no fans out here. I'm literally, in all my life I've been out here, I've met one other person
Wow.
outside of my family that's a Cardinals fan. And you'd think there'd be more sprinkled throughout, considering it used to be Chicago, but just nobody knows that.
Yeah. That's
Only the real ones know.
It's weird. Yeah, it's really strange. I'm sure a lot of people in Arizona know the history of it just because, but like no one
I
out
honestly
here
don't
seems
think
to
a
know
lot
that.
of I honestly don't think a lot of these Cardinal fans nowadays out here, man. I think you could probably I want to put a poll up on Twitter and say, where do the Cardinals originate from? I bet you there'd be about 15% of the people who would get it fucking wrong.
Yeah, that's not a bad poll. You could put St. Louis, Arizona, Chicago, and then like put one or two other fucking just fake ones that kind of
But I
sound
feel like
right.
a quick Google search will let people know if they weren't sure.
Oh yeah, that's true. Okay,
You're
maybe don't even
Google
tell them.
searching fucking Twitter
Oh,
fucking questions. Like, God
yeah.
have mercy on your soul.
True,
People
true,
suck,
true.
though. People suck. She's right.
Yeah. Amen. Amen. But yeah, shout out to your grandpa, man. Fucking hopefully we can, that's seeing your grandpa cry. Is that the only time you've ever seen your grandpa cry?
Yeah, yeah.
Fuck, dude.
Only time.
That's gonna
That's
be
like the
me.
worst.
That's gonna be
You're gonna make
me,
me
like
mad seeing Grandpa
fucking
cry.
50 years.
Yeah.
Fuck, dude.
I cried.
It's a,
I just remember like crying and like just like the look of disbelief and disappointment on my dad's face. Like it was terrible.
Yeah,
I was so
it
pissed.
was a rough one. I will say I'm not like everyone else though. I think Santonio Holmes did catch the ball. I think it was fair. I know a lot of people fight it. I've seen pictures to where it looks like he
Yeah.
didn't, but then I've
No.
also seen pictures that absolutely look like he did. So I think it's just like
All you need to see a picture that he did with the catch, because you can do a lot of pictures with him,
yeah,
the other foot off the ground after he did.
yeah.
It's up there. I saw someone post today, like, what's your biggest what if on your favorite teams? And I mean, you could go down the line from each fucking sport basically. If Shane Doan didn't get hurt, in the Western Conference Finals against the Kings in 2012, if
Derrick Rose never tore his ACL.
like even if John Paxton never hit that shot, even though it was a game 6, not a game 7, if the fucking defense could hold up, man, fucking Cardinals.
Or Larry downed it at the one. Like I guess he said when he was running, he thought about just downing it so we could chew clock. So that's my biggest what if Larry would have just downed it.
You can't do that. As much as in hindsight that sounds like a great idea, but imagine how sick you'd be if you down it and then you just don't get it, or you
or if we didn't have Aaron
stupid
Francisco in the secondary, but that's neither here nor
there. Yeah, you can't. It is what it is, unfortunately. But
I remember back in that era, I was dating this chick who, when I saw, Well, yeah, she was a manager at a bar, so she had me in there when Twista was performing. So like I was with like some buddies and we were all stoned or whatever. And she hit me up. She's like, "Yo, Twister's coming in tonight. You want to go come see him?" I'm like, "Fuck yeah, I do." And like all my boys are too stoned to go. I'm like, "What the fuck?" So I like went by myself. I saw Twista live, like with like 75 people in this little ass place. But one of her good friends was fucking Aaron Francisco during that season. Like I kept wanting to fucking just talk shit about that guy to her, and I never did. And then the fucking Super Bowl happened, and I really regretted never talking shit to her.
But on that note, I will reveal how my dad actually found out he had prostate cancer. So in the year 2020, my dad goes out to Twin Peaks, which is by Westgate where the Cardinals play. He hits up one of his gym buddies. They're watching the Cardinals game. They rack up a $500 plus tab
Oh, wow.
with beers, shots, to the point where the bartender had to cut him off, and then she kicked him out. I guess they're
Oh
being a little
wow.
rowdy. So my dad goes home, and he couldn't pee for like 24 hours.
Oh shit.
So he goes like, "This isn't right." So he goes to makes an appointment with the urologist the next morning. They do some tests or whatever, drained him, and they're like, "Yeah, you got prostate cancer, man."
Oh
Jesus.
my God.
So the Cardinals fucking saved his life because had he not been on a drinking bender that day,
Who
he
He
probably
might
would
knows?
have
not
Yeah,
have
I
gone
could have
known.
built
into,
up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, but yeah, they caught it in the very early stages, and he's good now. He beat cancer. Unfortunately, it is a little bittersweet because his lady also had cancer. They were fighting it together.
Oh
She ended up
wow.
passing away
Oh
last
no.
year in August,
Oh
and
man,
that was
sorry
like
to hear
his
that.
ride or die. Like went to all the games with her and stuff. Like when I didn't go,
Oh,
so I wish for Pop's sake that we could pull this thing around and be better, just to kind of give him
yeah.
something to be happy about.
Yeah. And
But
I
I'm
just
just glad he's cancer free. It's one less
That's
thing to worry about.
awesome. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. That stinks.
and
Yeah.
yeah, shout out Mr. Jackie. You raised a fine young lady, and we're glad to have her hosting tonight and being with us every week. I can imagine where we would be as a podcast in general without you. So shout out to you, Jackie. Shout out to your dad. Glad to hear that. And today we got some good news as well um, in regards to my dad's colon cancer and liver cancer and lung cancer. Actually, this is the first time they did MRIs or X-rays on him since he started chemo in October. And when before he started chemo, they gave him 1 to 4 years to live. That was his life expectancy because there's just no treatment on the liver.
Mhm.
No matter what they do, there's just no proven treatment. They say sometimes, you change your diet, chemo, that might help a little bit with the liver, but the whole thing is hopefully the big mass, which is his colon, if that goes down, then everything else will go down. So today they went and did that, and he found out that within literally 2 months, the mass in his colon and his liver have both gone down by at least 60%. So that
Oh
is,
yeah.
something that, we were celebrating today internally as a family and everything. And like you, it's, nothing as much as, your dad's partner passing away, which is horrible. But everything's always bittersweet in life. This is why I treat people right, man. Like
Mhm.
you never know, what people are going through. And, you see some assholes speeding around the fucking corner and you don't know what they're going through. His wife might be in a car accident, a couple miles away and just needs to fucking get there. So I heard that news first thing in the morning. And then a couple hours later, my fiance calls me. She has her oldest cat she took in. She's a vet tech, so she took her into work because she just was not being herself. She's just not eating or anything, and so we're gonna have to put her down Friday.
Oh
Unfortunately,
no.
she's got kidney failure. So after hearing about that, me and her are on the phone, kind of crying together and stuff. So life is always bittersweet. Be appreciative where we are right now, folks, and um, you know, as an Arizona sports fan, we always, you know, would hope to have something better to lean on as, a family and a community and everything. But enjoy.
And just like that, Max said, fuck off, I'm out. There he goes. You good, Mac?
Yeah. Do you hear me?
Yes.
I hear you now.
I don't know. I got like 10 tabs up. I don't know. But treat each other right, folks. That's all I got to really say. Love the ones that are still around.
Hell yeah.
Yes. Love everybody except Lakers fans and Cowboy fans.
Yeah.
All the way off. All right. Any other final thoughts before we close out?
Last thing, have you guys been watching Hard Knocks the last couple episodes or no?
Nope.
I haven't. I honestly watched like 10 minutes of one episode, and then I was like, I don't want to watch behind the scenes.
Holy dick face! Sorry, Suns are down 25 right now. What the fuck?
Oh,
no,
wow.
I'm in the same boat as you. Once I found out they didn't air any of the Eno stuff, any of the Kugler stuff, which pretty much expected. It's almost too hard. Like, I'll rewatch it once the season ends, and I'm bored for the 7 months without football. I'll turn it back on. But if you're into feel good stuff, which I know there are people out there, you go on Twitter and some people only just post the positives, and good for them, man. I wish I could have that upbeat mentality, but I'm just.
This team's been negative for a long time, so it's just hard to do that,
And go, full 180 on it, like just putting a smiley face on everything. Yeah, it's just just doesn't feel right. And I'm sure I'll watch it and I'll appreciate it for, I want to see the whole thing with Will Hernandez and everything. Good for him.
I would have rather if it happened last year. You know what I mean? Like, this year is such a terrible year.
We would have had some wins.
And then we could all blame fucking Hard Knocks, right?
Yeah.
Like, fuck, we were so good before Hard Knocks. What the fuck?
Yeah,
Fuck that shit. Yeah, now we got nothing. So, but no, thank you, Shibby, for joining us, man.
Thank you for having me, man.
Yeah, I think we were probably we didn't even do fucking pick'ems. Shout out Jackie, way to drive the show, girl. Didn't even do pick'ems. We're at an hour and a half right now. This is beautiful. This is beautiful. I love it. So thank you.
Great content. Good job, everybody. Any final thoughts before I close out?
Nope.
No, better season next year. The Cardinals way.
Yep, that's the fucking motto. Well, this has been another episode of the Redbird Redzone podcast. My name is Jackie. You can find me on Twitter at JSanDiego. That is 2 O's.
And my government name is Jared McCauley, and also probably better known by Mac on Twitter, where you can find me at AZ Sports Fiend. That's FIEN.
And I was Shibby, and you can just check me out at Screw City Productions at YouTube.
Yes, sir. Get him some followers, folks.
Thank you.
Yes, go give him a follow. Excellent content there. It'll make you laugh. Don't watch some of the shit while you're eating. I'll just say that.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks again for jumping on with us.
For sure. Have a good one, guys.